Seriously, Konami, what have you done? This deck, it's ridiculous. What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal. And if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Now, normally I don't do this, but in a couple of months, we are going to be getting a set I am extremely excited about. Not only am I excited about Power of the Elements, but Darkwing Blast actually introduces some really good cards that will completely change the meta. And of course, we'll circle back to Darkwing Blast, maybe even revisit this combo when the set comes out. But I'm telling you right now, yo, sheesh, this is ridiculous. What I'm talking about specifically is the new Draco Slayer support that is coming out in Darkwing Blast. When the Draco Slayer support was first introduced, I believe in 2015, it wasn't really thought of as a very strong archetype, just an engine to be played inside of the Performage, also known as Pepe strategy, to make your deck considerably stronger. What I love about the Draco Slayer cards is they actually pay homage to some of the older strategies that also came out around the time. The Magispector strategy is a really good pendulum deck that allows you to search spell and trap cards. And then there's the Dino Mish strategy. It has Dino in its name, so it's gotta be good, right? Right? But the card that really sets this combo over the top is the new Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer. This card actually allows you to shuffle a pendulum monster from your extra deck into your deck to be able to add a Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from your deck to your hand. And then when it's destroyed, it allows you to special summon a Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from your deck. And in case you didn't know, the Ignite monsters are well known for being able to destroy themselves in the Pendulum Zone to search Fire Warriors. Konami, you really messed this one up. Now, we've never known the Ignite strategy to be a top-tier competitive Fire Warrior strategy, but there's actually a Fire Warrior strategy that has been hit time after time again on the Forbidden List. This time around, we're not going to be using any of the cards Konami is going to think about banning. Being able to put 6 disruptions on your side of the field, and the requirements are almost any 2 Ignite monsters and any card to discard. Let's go ahead and jump on in, as the cards that I'm going to have for this particular combo is Ignite Veteran, Ignite Templar, and any card to discard from your hand. Now, when I said that this is pretty much any Ignite monster, I was slightly misleading, kind of, not really. This actually requires level 4 or level 6 Ignite monsters, but don't worry, between your 3 copies or your 6 copies of your level 6 Ignite monsters, your 6 copies of your level 4 monsters, cards like Painful Decision be able to search your level 4 monsters, and cards like Summoner's Art to be able to search your level 6 Ignite monsters, you can have upwards to 18 copies inside of your deck, so it's pretty much almost any Ignite monster you want to have. Of course, that card that we'll discard will come out a little bit later, and I'll explain to you why. We're going to go ahead and first start off by pendulum scaling our Ignite monsters, placing them into the pendulum scale and then using either of our Ignite monsters effect to destroy the other to be able to search a Fire Warrior monster from our decks to our hand. So the card of choice is actually going to be probably the best starter for the Fire Warrior Infernoble Ignite deck that we're going to talk about, Sublimination Knight. Now, Sublimination Knight is actually really good for this deck, is because it allows you to equip Squeak Knight from your deck to your side of the field. And Squeak Knight actually is going to be an extremely important card for the combo, not only as an extender to the side of the field through Sublimination Knight, but through other means. I'll activate the effect of Squeak Knight to be able to summon itself to the side of the field, and I will not use the effect to turn it into a tuner. I'll just link summon into a card that players thought should have been banned in 2018, look at us now, into Isolde, Two Tails of Noble Knight. Now, typically when you activate the effect of Isolde, Two Tails of Noble Knight, you really can't use the card that you add from your deck to your hand. But the good thing about this, the card that we are going to add is a Pendulum Scale, and while we can't special summon it to our side of the field or use its monster effects, it is a spell card, so we can go ahead and activate it into our Pendulum Scale. if we so please. There is one thing I do want to say about this, is that whatever 2 Ignite monsters you start with, you want to get the low scale opposite Ignite monster from your deck to your hand. And the reason why is because Isoul 2 Tails of the Noble Knight will prevent you from special summoning that monster to your side of the field, which isn't necessarily the end of the world, but I mean, we want a full combo here. I'll then use the effect of Isoul 2 Tails of the Noble Knight being able to send 1 equipped spell card from my deck to my graveyard and Infernoble Arms Durandal. That will allow me to special summon Infernoble Renaud to my side of the field. And as you guys can see, I don't need to play a whole bunch of equipped cards. The only thing I need is Infernoble Arms Durandal, so no more bricks. Durandal is an amazing card for this strategy, as it can add any level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster from the deck to the hand. We'll activate Durandal to equip to any monster on the field, it doesn't matter. And then Durandal's effect will destroy itself, allowing us to add our Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer. Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer, is probably one of the most ridiculous cards in the Darkwing Blast set, and I'll be able to show you why. But first, I'm going to go ahead and activate it as a Pendulum Scale, and this is the last time my opponent can use cards to be able to stop me, as I'm going to special summon both monsters to my side of the field under where Isoul 2 Tails of the Noble Knight is pointing to. And then immediately I'm going to use my Isoul, my Renaud, and my level 4 or my level 6. It almost doesn't matter. It only changes the combo sequence a little bit into a Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess with 3 negations. So from here on out, my opponent can't use any of these monster effects to be able to stop me, as Appaloosa will be able to negate them, allowing me to not only pass my way through a combo sequence, but also still being a form of disruption on my opponent's turn. So normally here's where the Ignite strategy would stop, but we're going to actually use the effect of Ignite Paladin. We'll destroy our Ignis Phoenix to be able to add Immortal Phoenix Gearfried from our decks to our hand. We'll trigger the effect of our Ignis. We'll be able to special summon to our side of the field the Majesty Pegasus, the Draco Slayer, and here is where this gets interesting. The reason why Ignis is just so good is because not only does it special summon a Draco Slayer monster from our deck to our side of the field, it's treated as a tuner. That actually comes up for synchro summoning plays. But another new card for this strategy is the Majesty Pegasus, the Draco Slayer. Now, I'm not gonna lie about Majesty Pegasus. Her effects are not amazing, but they actually do have their things when she special summon. She allows you to discard 1 card from your hand to be able to add any field spell card from your deck to your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, terraforming is limited to 1 for a reason, and she's gonna go ahead and allow me to search it. I'm gonna discard that random card from my hand to be able to add the Therion's Discoliseum this time and go ahead and continue to pop off. Now, you could add cards like Zombie World or Necro Valley from your deck to your hand if you know your opponent is really weak to those particular cards. The fact that she is a searchable terraforming that searches any of our field spell cards is a little busted. Konami, what are you doing here? We'll then activate our Therion's Discoliseum using its effect. Normally you would add Therion's King Regulus from the deck to the hand, but I'm actually gonna add Therion's Bull Ain from my deck to my hand. And I probably should have did this first, but I'll then follow up by synchro summoning into my Baron de Fleur. And wow, this is actually a lot of Pendulum Scales back into my deck with an Appaloosa with 3 arrows pointing down for me for some good follow-up. I'm not done just there. I'll actually use the effect of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. I'll banish the Durandal from my graveyard to be able to summon Immortal Phoenix Gearfried to my side of the field. And since I do have a Fire Warrior monster, I'll activate the effect of Therion's Bull Ain, targeting the Squeak Knight to be able to summon Ain to my side of the field and equipping the Sneak Knight. Now here is really good. We have an Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess that can negate 3 cards. We have an Immortal Phoenix that can banish the Squeak Knight to be able to negate a monster effect. We have Baron de Fleur, and we have Thorion's Bull, which can destroy itself to destroy an opponent's card. But what if I take it a little bit further? I'm actually going to go ahead and use the effect of Squeak Knight again. We are going to special summon Squeak Knight to our side of the field and turn itself into a tuner. And look what I have here. A tuner monster, a non-tuner. Squeak Knight is actually coming in clutch, as we'll synchro summon into Bull Load Savage Dragon, using its effect to be able to equip the Isoul 2 Tails of Noble Knight. meaning that my Immortal Phoenix Gearfried can still negate a monster effect because E-Soul is equipped to Borreload Savage Dragon, as well as a Borreload Savage Dragon with 2 negations. I'm only going to count it as 1 since I can only use 1 once per turn. Battle on the Floor will not only be able to negate a card, but it can recycle any of my monsters back to my side of the field and Appaloosa for 4 disruptions. But to make matters worse, you can't attack over my board. Therion Discalazim says once per turn, if one of my monsters will be destroyed by battle, I can send a Therion or Endless Engine aggro from my deck to the graveyard instead. And if you just so happen to destroy one of my monsters by battle afterward, well, I can add a Therion's monster from my graveyard to my hand, meaning that you're going to have to summon multiple monsters to your side of the field just to defeat the Appaloosa Bull of the Goddess. And even if you do, I'm going to be able to get some Therion cards from my graveyard to my hand to allow me to play back. Now, I would actually love to say that that was the end of the video. That was the combo, but I know there's going to be some hate out there. There are players that will say that this board easily loses to cards like Dark Ruler No More, since I don't have anything to activate and then activate to negate the Dark Ruler No More, or Forbidden Droplet. Well, normally in game 1, you either need to open the Forbidden Droplet or you're siding in cards like Dark Ruler No More, Dark Hole, Raigeki, whatever those cool spell cards are. Don't worry, I still got something for you, and this is where I think Konami messed up. Let's take, for example, that we are going against a deck that is going to sideboard those board-breaking cards. Forbidden Droplet and Dark Ruler No More, just a few of them in the name. There are also other really powerful spell cards, Triple Tactics Talent, and of course Lightning Storm. Those cards are fairly popular inside of the format. Well, in this particular combo, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you why it really does not matter. I'll be able to do exactly what I want and completely shut down some of the most powerful decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Think of not only the Despia strategy, which heavily relies on spell cards as well as Sky Strikers, but also there are instances where Splight or Tier Elements needs their spell cards to be able to survive through this combo. So jumping on in, it actually requires any 2 Ignite monsters and a card to discard. This is the exact same combo. It can get bigger with a Superior Extender. Let me actually show you what it's like to have a Superior Extender and how much further you can take it. I am going to include Therion's Bullsane just to show you how much further you could take it if you draw a Supreme Extender like Bullsane, but it's not necessary for the combo. We will go ahead and start off by activating our Ignite cards into our Pendulum Scales. And then we will activate any of our scales to destroy themselves to be able to add our Sublimination Knight. Now this is going to look very, very similar to our old combo. Normal summoning Sublimination Knight, using its effect to be able to equip Squeak Knight to the side of the field. And then Squeak Knight will summon itself and then allow us to be able to Link Summon. Our Link Summon of choice is going to be the E-Soul 2 Tails of the Noble Knight the exact same way. And then we'll use the effect of E-Soul to be able to add from our decks to our hand that Ignite Paladin. Following up, we'll use the effect of E-Soul to be able to send that 1 spell card from the deck to the graveyard. That's going to be the Durandal, to be able to special summon the Renaud to our side of the field in defense position. And then the effect of Renaud will be able to add the Durandal back from our graveyard to our hand. So again, the exact same way that you've seen the last combo, equipping onto any of our monsters, then destroying itself to be able to add that last scale from our deck, which will be the Ignis Phoenix. And then, of course, we will lay our scales out right here. That is going to be enough to be able to Pendulum Summon. Make sure you don't summon Renaud where E-Soul points to. I've done that quite a few times, and it doesn't work out how you want it to. So we're going to go ahead and Pendulum Summon for 2 here, summoning out the Templar and summoning out the other monster. And normally, we would actually use the Templar, the Renaud, and the E-Soul for a Link Summon. We're actually going to do the opposite. We're going to use the Ignite Veteran, the Renaud, and the E-Soul for a Link Summon into Appaloosa. Now, this will be explained in just one quick second, as I'm going to go ahead and activate the effect of my Paladin, destroying both of my cards to be able to add my Phoenix Gearfried from my deck to my hand. And then I will trigger the effect of my Ignite monster. I'll be able to special summon Majesty. Now, I actually kind of cap. You don't need the additional discard. You can literally just discard the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, but again, I'm going to show you something else. So we're going to go ahead and use the effect of Majesty Pegasus. I'm going to use this effect to be able to discard or add the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and then discard the Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. That's it, guys. That's it. You lose. You can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! I win. But no, in all seriousness, is actually a lot more than that. If you thought that Secret Village of the Spellcasters was the least of your worries, no. For you Despia and you Sword Soul players, for any of you players that like to play all one element, maybe I'm going against Splight and I don't want you to make that Exceed monster, well, I'm actually going to Synchro Summon into your Doom. I'm going to Synchro Summon into Zora. The Conflagrant Calamity. This card is ridiculous. Master Duel players should get very acquainted with this card. What it does is that when it is Synchro Summoned, you can equip one Magistus monster from your extra deck to this card. Your opponent cannot activate the effect of monsters with the same card type: Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link. That means if your deck is dependent on any 4 of those particular mechanics, I can completely lock you out from using those effects as long as this monster remains face up on the field. So for you people that hate Despia players, we'll go ahead and use Zora to be able to equip the Fusion monster, and now my opponent's Despia deck is pretty much useless. Zora's 3900 attack. Good luck Despia players attacking over this card, and you can't activate your Fusion monsters. On top of that, I can negate your monster effects. But again, we're not necessarily done from here. We'll activate the Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Good luck trying to use any of your spell effects. We'll then activate the Therion's Bull Ain, equipping the Squeak Knight. And then we will special summon the Immortal Phoenix Gearfried by banishing the Durandal from our graveyard. So this is actually a different type of board. I could special summon the Squeak Knight and Synchro Summon into Borreload Savage Dragon, which would still make my cards live, but I wanted to show you the importance of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried still being able to gain value with Squeak Knight on the field, me preventing my opponent from playing fusion monsters or gaining their effects, me preventing my opponent from using Dark Ruler no more and Forbidden Droplet cards like that would break my board. And then Therion's Bull Ain is a free disruption, just in case my opponent had some sneaky card effect or sneaky card that they wanted to use to be able to get over what I'm doing right here. And that is all that we have. I think that Konami made a genuine mistake. Let me know, what do you guys think about this Fire Warrior strategy? Are Ignites at the top come Darkwing Blast? Yo! Are there some other strategies you would like to see the Draco Slayers take over? Of course, I will be putting a profile up for my Patreons, and I also want to give a mad shout out to my homegirl Kana for helping me out with this combo. She pretty much gave me the legs, and I just kind of tinkered with it just a little bit. I got a dino brain, guys. I didn't think that big. She really came up with the basis of it, and I just kind of like, yo, we can do some cool stuff. But of course, if you want to see more amazing content, go ahead and check out these videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.